Okay, time for the next 300 blackout video. What are we up to? 15, I think? A lot. This one, not a whole lot of ammo, but we're going to answer some important questions today. If you'll recall from the last video, we were trying to shoot for accuracy with the Palmetto projectiles bullets, and we're getting some instability. Bullets aren't quite going through perfectly straight, and for 50 yards these groups were pretty gnarly. So, a couple theories we want to check. I want to load up. Alright, first of all, we've reduced our powder down to these three. These three here have consistently throughout the last, since we started subsonic work, these have consistently run the gun very well without a suppressor. And that's something I'm looking for. I want to be able to shoot the gun without the suppressor sometimes. And these powders have proven they'll do it. So we took 4 of our 7 powders off the table. We're down to these 3. Nothing against the others, but for the time being, that's what we're going to shoot. So what I want to do is, the load in the last video that had stability problems with the Palmettos, I just want to reload the exact same load, 5 each. So 15 rounds with the Palmetto that are exactly the same as the last, and we want to shoot them without the chronograph, which, what did I do with that? Yeah, so my chronograph, my Magneto Speed chronograph, has got this bayonet that hangs off the front and the bullet passes right over here. I just want to take out the possibility that the bayonet is causing funky stuff to happen to the bullets. So that's kind of test number 1. Test number 2 is I want to load up some 208 grain A-Maxes. Right, Hornady A-Maxes, jacketed bullets, boat tail. Going to be pretty close to the same load we did last time. Actually, I think what I'm going to do, all 3 of these powders in the last video shot a little bit hot. I think accurate 1680 was around 1070 feet per second, and then these were up in the 1080s. So all of them need to drop down just a hair. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop these down, and I'm actually going to use the same charge weight with these guys. And according to the Hornady manual, the overall length they suggest for these is 2.250, right? Just barely under magazine length. So the fact that these are loaded longer, more case capacity there, I'm expecting that'll probably maybe slow things down a little bit. I don't know. We haven't shot this before, so we don't know what the hell the velocity is going to be. So we're just going to pick a number and see what happens. So we're just going to do 15 quick rounds of these with 5 of each powder, and then we'll hit the range and see what happens. So this is only 30 rounds here in this video, so hopefully we can get to the range quick. And I think I got enough daylight to get out there today, hopefully. So let's try and hustle. Let's try and get through this. So let's get set up. I'm going to use the same brass we used in the last video. Yeah, just straight back out of the box. I'm not going to tumble them. Just going to yeah, wipe them down after they're resized. They're still pretty clean, clean-ish. So with jacketed bullets, if it's not already obvious, we don't need to flare the case mouth for the bullet, right? That 308 diameter boat tail bullet is going to seat down in there nicely without any need for flare like we have with the coated bullets. So I'll just have to, so that throws a couple twists into my operation here. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and resize them, and then I'll need to check to see whether they need trimmed. I doubt they will, because these subsonic loads are, the pressure's so low, these really come out without much damage. It's nothing like the supersonic loads we were shooting in previous videos where, man, the brass was really taking a beating from all that pressure and stuff, and just the violence of the AR-15 action. But these look nice and pretty. So that'll be the first step. Resize them, wipe them off, and then the case mouths definitely, the last video I didn't chamfer and deburr the case mouth, so we're definitely going to do that this time, and we'll see about trimming as well. Probably not. shouldn't need trimmed. So that's it. I'm going to get to resizing. Our dies are still in the press from last time, so this is going to be pretty easy. Just getting these guys resized, and last video I went ahead and flared at this point, but I don't want to do that this time because I want the case mouth in the normal state so that I can go ahead and deburr and chamfer the case mouth. Get that cleaned up just a little bit before we flare. So I just got to get these done and get them wiped off. Then we'll be ready to measure and see whether they need trimmed. Checking the case length on these, most of them are right about this 1.361 to 1.363 length, and that is well short of the max, which is 1.368. So these have only stretched a couple thousandths and really don't need trimmed. So we're not going to trim them, but I will go ahead and tell you what I'll probably do is... where did my thingy go? There's my thingy. Alright, so this is a primer pocket brush. Just to clean the gunk out. These have a couple firings, so might as well shine them up a smidgen. And then of course the inside and outside of the case mouth. So that guy's ready to go. Clean primer pocket, nicely chamfered case mouth. So I'm going to run through these guys, get them all done, and I will see you afterwards. Alright, 30 pieces ready to rock. A little bit of funky stuff here on the bench to prove it. Alright, we are ready for primers. Here's the thing. I'm going to forget to flare the 15 I'm going to use with the palmetto bullets. Should I do it now while it's on my mind? Or should I wait until we prime, and then when I'm on the press anyway for other stuff, go ahead and flare it then? I'm too stupid for that. Let's go ahead and flare 15 of them now. Yep, same setting as before. Okay, that makes me feel better. Make sure I got them all. I think I can visually see. Yep, got them all. Alright, now I just need to make sure to keep track of them here while we prime and do powder. Come on, get over it. There we go. And come on. Nope, didn't get it. Come on. Come on. Nope. There we go. Okay. So I'll get these guys primed, and we will be ready for powder. All right, primers are in, and we're ready to measure some powder. I didn't already mention, so let's see, Accurate 1680, we're going to do 11.5 grains. That'll be the first powder here. Reloader 7, we're going to do 11.2 grains. And IMR 4198, we're going to do 10.8 grains. I'm really going to have to stay on my toes here, but I'm going to go ahead and dump all the powder before I seed any bullets. So I'll just have to really make sure that I'm on my toes and I don't get my rows mixed up or any of that crap. That way, yeah, that'll be the fastest way. So that's what I'm going to do now. Measure out some charges, and we will be ready for bullet seeding. Alright, I'm down to the last charge. And I did do, like I was saying, all of our charges are in the case. And the good thing about this, I've been being very, very careful. The other good thing about this is these three powders have very, very different characteristics. Accurate 1680 is a very fine powder. Reloader 7 is a medium. It's like a really, really small stick. And then IMR 4198 is big, huge, long sticks. So it's pretty easy to keep them straight. I'm going to go ahead and sit all the bullets down into the case mouths so I won't forget. And also maybe keep from spilling. Alright, so of course our dies are still set for the palmetto bullets. Move our camera up a touch. There we go. So these should just be ready to go. First row is Accurate 1680. And the Lee Factory crimp die. .950. That was our target, so these guys are ready. So we'll just put that in row 1. I'm really looking forward to shooting these. I think no matter the result, it's going to give us something to work from, going forward. Like if the jacketed bullets fly well, and that'll tell us that the twist rate's fine for the weight. We just need to get a better fit with the lead bullets, most likely. We've been shooting 308 or 309s, so we need to bump up, try some bullet size to 310 and 311, 312, whatever it takes to get a nice fit, get them stabilizing. Next row is reloader 7. Now if both of these bullets still continue to show stability problems, then I think we're at a point where it's my barrel. Twist rate isn't fast enough, it's not long enough, something that just makes it not like the heavier bullets. Since we've had so much luck with that setup with the lighter bullets, and what I would find the most interesting result is if it ended up being this stupid chronograph bayonet. I think that's a long shot, but it's worth testing. Okay, that's it for the palmettos. So the A-Maxes, our target overall length is 2.250, which should be much longer. So I'm going to back this out like 1.5 miles. There, that's out a ton. Yep, still nice and long. Yep, that's about 2.48 inches. So let's go down 200 thousandths. Hopefully I kept track of those numbers. .279, so we're still 29 thousandths long. There's 28 thousandths. Let's see, this should be pretty close. 2.251. Seat the next one, just make sure we get consistent readings. .24748. Alright, so this setting looks good. The Lee factory crimp die, we're just going to use the same setting. It's a light crimp, so it shouldn't be a problem. Alright, now I just need to run through and seat the rest of these guys. We'll be ready to go. Alright, that's it. Plenty of daylight, so we're going to go out and shoot them right now. Alright, we're going to kick things off with the accurate 1680 loads with the Palmetto projectiles bullets. So as you can see, no chronograph. Top row, top left, is where we're going to start. So these three are going to be the top row, and we'll see if they fly straight. Wow, that last one really flew in the middle, up into Crazy World. All right, so let's go take a quick look at those bullet holes. See whether we're onto anything here. Okay, so I flattened these guys out a bit, and yep, we can tell still got that same oval shape and weird mark on one side. So it doesn't look like our chronograph is going to be to blame, but let's go ahead and shoot these other 10, and then we'll move on to the jacketed bullets. Okay, so I've got the next 10 rounds in the magazine. The first 5 will be Reloader 7, and then the last 5 will be IMR 4198. So let's go ahead and shoot them. Alright, those last 10 kind of shot like crap, didn't they? Alright, let's get the bayonet put on and switch over to the jacketed bullets. Okay, so we got the chronograph back on. The 208 grain A-Maxes are next up. So let's see if these guys will fly. Alright, velocity on that guy was 1,065 feet per second, so we are right on the money, right where we need to be. Now let's just see if they group. That's more like it. Right on the money. Our average velocity was 1,052 feet per second. Standard deviation was 12.2. Do we even need to zoom in on that? That's got to be good flying bullets to group like that. Let's go ahead and shoot the other 10. Hopefully they'll perform in a similar fashion, and then we can get to thinking. Okay, next up is Reloader 7. Beautiful. Bolt lock back. Average velocity was 1,073 feet per second. So that guy's just a touch hot. Standard deviation 14.6. So good numbers. Very good numbers. Alright, last up is IMR 4198. Alright, average velocity 1,068 feet per second, standard deviation 15.4. Man, how about that? Alright, let's get packed up, get back to the bench, see if we can come to some conclusions. Alright, so that was interesting, no? Our palmetto projectiles continued to shoot all over the place and go in sideways and all that sort of crap. So these groups are worse than the last video, and once I finished and these really started kind of going everywhere, after I shot these, before I moved on to the jacketed bullets, I wanted to really make sure that chamber was clear because I had a feeling maybe this was a result of lead buildup. So I really went to town on the chamber and got a couple little rings of lead. So despite, well, you know, my efforts to keep the chamber clear through the last video and this video clearly were not sufficient. So I think the craziness here towards the end is because of lead buildup, but this tells us that it wasn't the chronograph. So no big deal there. Don't have to worry about the chronograph. The jacketed bullets flew like a dream. I don't think I didn't give you guys a close-up, did I? I flattened them out so we could really see what's happening. Those are perfect, beautiful, straight holes. That's what we're looking for. And these groups, I am very, very, very impressed with. So that's 0.49 inch group. That's sub MOA. That's just under an MOA. So, and this guy is 0.59 inches, just over. And then this guy was just over an inch, 1.12 inches. This guy opened up a little bit. So this is really outstanding. Can't wait to find out what these do at 100. You know, whether they're able to hold it together. I imagine they probably will. So that taught us a good bit. Jacketed bullets are fine in the gun. The twist is fine for jacketed. At least, you know, 208 grains. So it probably is a matter of getting the proper diameter of lead bullet to get this thing to shoot. So the palmetto projectiles, which come at 309, unless I'm much mistaken, are just too small for my gun, it seems. So what I need to do, I've got several different bullet molds. I've got one at like 240, and I've got another one that's just over 200. I've got another one that's just under 200, I believe. I need to get my crap together and cast a bunch of bullets to test with. And then we need to run some tests with them sized at different diameters. You know, 311, 310, 309. Just like, well, we've already proved 309's bad with both bullets, so I need to get bigger and try 310 and 311 at the very least. So that's kind of where we're at. Jacketed bullets were just fine. So anything else? Anything else I need to cover? I don't think so. This was a pretty straightforward video, and the results were fascinating. Oh, the other thing I did mean to mention, the guesses we had for the jacketed velocities were perfect. That one, accurate 1680, 1,052 feet per second, that's perfect. I'd load up 1,000 of those and hit the range tomorrow. And that's probably what I'll, you know, if my suppressor is going to come in next week, that's probably what I'll do, is load up some of these just so I can go out and have some fun with my suppressor. I'm sure we'll catch that on camera. And Yeah, same thing with these. 1,073 feet per second and 1,068 feet per second. So these were very close to where we wanted to be with our guest charge weights. So I think that's it. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. And I will see you guys next time.